Hi, I'm Kat and I play Red. We're going to have a bit of fun today. I think we all need something a bit more light-hearted and silly. This is a game I bought because it won the Kennerspiel Deja. Now, I'm sure most people watching this know about the Spiel Deja. It's the game award for board games. The Kennerspiel is generally reserved for slightly heavier, more strategic games, whereas the Spiel Deja is more family based. So, Kennerspiel, heavier game, I'm in. Wasn't what we were expecting. Quacks of Quedlinburg is a very silly push your luck game about crazy alchemist doctors, quacks, mixing potions. Doesn't really feel like a Kennerspiel, but it turned out to be a whole lot of fun. Let's have a look at the game. So, the first thing I feel I should mention is the actual components. The game actually comes with cardboard chips. These rather lovely pieces we've got here are the Ghee Cup bits from the BGG web store. They're not cheap, but look, they're so lovely. They have a very satisfying rattle in your bags and they just look lovely. So just as a heads up, this is not what you get with the game. Okay, but this is what we're dealing with. There's a lot of stuff here. We have a lot of pots when we're setting up and playing in the front room. So a lot of little cupcake pots or something similar is a really good idea with this game. At the start of every round, the first thing you do is draw an event card. So, if your pot explodes this round, the player to your left gets any 1-2 chip. Kind of makes sense, 1-2. You don't get 12 chips, sorry. You're going to get 2 chip. So, if my pot blows up, they're going to get a benefit. But you don't really want your pot blowing up. So, this is what I start with in the bag. I have one level 1 green token, one level 1 orange token, and a load of these white cherry bombs. So this is my starting bag. So these into my bag, and this is what I'm going to draw from. What you're going to do in a turn is blindly draw from your bag and place into your pot. So my first draw is an orange one, and that's just going to go on the one there next to my teardrop. Another one. Of course, when I want something else, let me see what we can find. And right, yellow 3. Now, because this is a 3, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and pop it on that space. Now, you'll see at the bottom of the player board here, it tells you if you get to more than 7 on your cherry bombs, your pot is going to blow up. I kind of feel like that should be a bit of a more dramatic drawing, but that's what it's telling you. In which case, you're either not going to score points or money at the end of the round, and you're not going to roll the dice. So, we need to get to the end of the round and see how that works. Another one gets, at the start of the game, that's pretty much all you're going to be drawing, is a lot of ones. So, 1 green. Now, with any colour, other than the white or orange, you need to check the ability on the spellbook here. So, green, for each green chip, that is the last or next to last chip in your pot, you receive 1 ruby. So, I might not want to go much further In fact, I'm going to stop there. I can stop at any time I like. Joy of push your luck games. Currently, I've got 1, 4, 5, 6 cherry bombs. So if I draw 2, I'd be over 8 and my pot would explode. So now is probably a good time to call it quits because I know I've got 2 2s in my bag. So I'm going to stop drawing. Other players can carry on drawing for as long as they dare, or until they blow up. I'm calling it quits. So if we look at the scoreboard, it will tell us what we now do. I didn't blow my pot up, so I get to roll the dice. The dice gives you a range of benefits. It might be an orange token, it might be some points, it might be crystals. Let's have a look. Ugh. 1. So I get 1 point and move up 1 on the scoreboard. Then going back to the scoreboard, we go here. Black, green and purple tokens have abilities that will check in now. So I don't have any black or purple, but I do have that green. And the green was, if my chip is the last or next to last chip, I receive a ruby, which it is. So I'm going to take a ruby and pop that on my board there. The next thing to look at is rubies. So when you're looking at scoring at the end of the round, you're always looking at the first visible slot, which is here. So we've got 9, 1 and a ruby. Because that ruby is on that space, I get another ruby. I'm doing quite well with them, and we'll come on to what they're useful for. Then we're going to score points, which are the squares here. So for this round, I get a grand 1 point, putting me on 2. The next thing we check is this bubble, which has a 9. That means I have 9 to spend, which I can spend on any combination of these lovely chips here. So let's have a look at what we want. So I obviously can't afford the black because I need 10. And I can't afford, I could afford a level 2 green. I can't afford these level 2s. So, let's have a look. I'm going to go for a red one, which will cost me 5, and a green one, which will cost me 4, for a total of 9. These 2 chips then go into my bag, ready for me to draw in the next round. The chips I have here then go back into my bag. Lastly, at the end of the round, I have the opportunity to spend my crystals. Now again, it tells you on the main scoreboard what you can do with these. There's 2 actions. I can spend 2 of them to move this forward 1 space, which is what I'm going to do. Which means now, when I start the round, I'm going to be starting from that number 2. Hopefully meaning I get further around the board. The other thing you can spend these on is your potion. If at any point in the game you're getting a bit close to 7 on your cherry bombs and you draw another white, you can use the potion by flipping it over and go, don't want that, put it back in the bag and redraw. So that's what your potion does. When it's this side, it's empty and you can't use it. And then you have to pay 2 rubies to flip it over. But for now, it's there. So let's wiggle these scores around a bit. So we're now going to be going into round 2. At the start of round 2, the mandrakes are going to come into play. So put these out. Running out of room, we don't necessarily need to get the chips out. If the previously played chip was white, you put it back into the bag. So that's what those specific mandrakes do. The other thing we need to do is work out rat's tails. Now, here, in the very unlikely event that Rob was ahead of me on points, we're going to count the number of rat tails between his marker and mine. So, let's bump him to 7. I'm going to give you a 3-point, Rob. You're welcome. Here, there are 2 rat's tails between him and myself. So, I grab my little rat tail marker and pop that 1, 2 on from my water drop. So, because I'm lowering points, I'm going to start higher up. So, it's a really nice balancing mechanism. So, I'm going to start here. First thing we do, draw an event card. Let's have a look what this one is. I didn't blow up, so no one got anything from me from that. Haha. Take 4 victory points or remove 1 white 1 chip from your bag. The whites are pretty stinky, so I'm going to take a white and remove it from my bag, which is rather nice. And then we start drawing again. So let's have a look. First thing I draw is a white one. Oh, and a white 2. Oh my goodness. 3, 4, 5, 6. So I don't want a white 1. So look. A green 1. Orange 1. What was the... Okay, I haven't got anything really good yet, have I? 3, 4, 5, 6. A white 1, which puts me dead on 7, which isn't nice. Let's have a look. Rummage. And I'm going to quit there because, again, my green, because it's near the end, it's going to give me a ruby, and rubies are good. So I'm going to call it quits there. Let's have a look at what I had left. Oof, yeah, that was a good call. So I'm going to call it quits, and we go through the stages as shown on the scoreboard. So I didn't blow up. I roll the dice. Ooh, my water droplet goes forward 1. Black, green and purple. My green gets me another ruby. Very nice, thank you. I don't have a ruby showing on that spot, so I don't get that. I get 3 points though. And this round, I've got 14 to spend. So I can start looking at some of these more expensive chips. I do rather like the black ones. They cost 10. Now, if I draw more black chips than one of the players sitting next to me, I get to move my droplet. Now, I know my opponents haven't bought any black chips, so it's a pretty good bet for now. So I'm going to spend 10 there, and I have 4 left. So again, I'm going to just go with a green 1. So that's my 14. These are going to go in my bag, and oops, get rid of my rat's tail. I'm going to use my 2 rubies to move my droplet forward 1. Play continues over a total of 9 rounds. As you're moving, you move this across. So in the 3rd round, I don't know what these are. These weird purple blobby things are going to come into play. 4 and 5 are normal. In round 6, you're going to get an additional cherry bomb into the cauldron each, which kind of hurts. 7 and 8 are normal rounds. Then going into the final round, you need to be a bit more coordinated, because you could choose whether to carry on drawing or not, depending on what your opponent's doing. So everyone does this consecutively. You can see the 3 bags with the arrows. So at the same time, everyone is drawing. The way we tend to do it is you draw a chip, you pop it in your hand, and then everyone reveals at the same time. Or if you want to quit, you go, oh, look at me rummaging in my bag. Listen to me rummaging in my bag. And then reveal nothing, which is telling your opponents that you're out. Obviously, in the last round, you're not going to be buying extra chips. So the points you'd usually get to spend on chips will go into points. You'll also get 1 point for each 2 rubies you have in your bag at the end of the game. So that's the basic version of the game. Now let's have a look at some other really cool stuff. Look at this. This is the basic side of the board. We flip it over and we've actually got a slightly more complex version. So as well as your droplet in the middle, you're going to start with a droplet down the bottom. So instead of spending the 2 rubies to move this droplet, you can spend them on moving this one, which gives you a variety of bonuses as you go up the test tube rack. Just to make things even more interesting, each colour of the chips comes with 2 of these little spell books. So let's have a look at black, for example. We've got 2 alternatives we can use. Oh no. 4 alternatives you can use. Now, I think there is a guideline that sort of advises which ones you should use at various levels. Now we've played this a few times, we do it completely random. You've got 4 choices of abilities for each colour chip. Now, they tend to be fairly similar, like the black ones you'll see are all about moving your droplet, but all of the conditions are different. So there's so much variety with this game. Quacks of Quedlinburg really wasn't what we were expecting when I first bought the game, but I do like a bit of push your luck, and it's fun and it's silly, and the chips from BGG store just are great and add a really nice feel to the components. They feel like a really nice upgrade to the game. Also, if you play it a lot, your cardboard chips are going to start getting a bit tatty. I know we've still got our cardboard chips, but they've started feeling a bit grubby after multiple plays, because it's so satisfying to rummage around in your bag. It's a great game. It is available. There is also the Herb Witches expansion, which adds some more different types of herbs. It also adds some extra abilities and a 5th player. These are the herbs from the Herb Witches. There's some abilities as well that you get to use through the game. The newest expansion, I know in the UK, is available for pre-order. I think it's coming out at the end of March. We're going to buy it. Of course we're going to buy it. We love this. It's silly. It's fun. Base game Quacks is available for a really good price. There's a lot in the game. Even with the cardboard chips over the plastic chips, there is a lot of game for your money here. It's fun, it's silly, you get to blow stuff up. What more can you want? Quacks of Quedlinburg, Wolfgang Barsch, Schmidt, I think North Star in the US. Check it out. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, click like and subscribe. Come and say hello to me on the other socials, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I play red. Thanks for watching. Bye.